Yo guys, welcome to The Last Lap. Don't forget to drop a lovely, juicy 5-star rating if you're watching on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Hope you enjoy, and let's get into it. We have to go on De Vries' watch. I think he is the driver who is under the most pressure and scrutiny in F1 right now.
I think so.
And this wasn't a particularly great performance again. Yes, he finished ahead of Yuki, and Yuki got about 15,000 hours of time penalties because he was just on a mad one.
Yeah.
But I mean, De Vries pushed Magnussen off, clear penalty, and just qualified stone dead last, didn't he, on Friday?
Oh, he did.
Had an all right sprint race, but it's still not great, is it?
Over to you.
It's not. I mean, I said this on the live stream. I think, I'm trying to defend him, but we can look and we can see this AlphaTauri car is not good this year. It's not a good car.
It does reek, to be fair.
It's really not going great. And if you haven't got the car behind you, what more can you do? Obviously compared to Yuki, he's not having a great show. He's not doing a good job. But I just feel like if you were to give him a bit more of a package underneath him, he has the speed, he has the potential. He's shown that in every other category. I know sometimes I always take Stoffel van Dorn as an example. Stoffel is somebody that will compete really lovely in every other series. And then when he was in F1, he just nothing happened.
Yeah,
because he was in that terrible McLaren.
But he was alongside Alonso as well.
This is the thing. So, it's always situation dependent. I think a lot of drivers with their careers and how they go in Formula One is dependent on their teammate, the car, and that's why a lot of drivers, when they do fall out of F1 or go to something else, then shine, because it's just
a different environment. And I do think Stoffel actually is one of those drivers where I actually wish he got another chance in Formula One, because he's been really good in Formula E. And it's difficult, and then it doesn't help when again Helmut Marko comes out with those comments like, I was actually wrong because Christian Horner was right. Maybe we shouldn't have got De Vries. That doesn't help as well. So you're driving a bad car. You had a horrible start of the season. The thing is, at the beginning, it was kind of like, just bashing on De Vries. But now I'm just like, the guy is just like, it's just like left, right, and center. Everything's against him. The world's kind of the ground underneath is just caving in, and it's like
F1's always been. It's always been a pressure cooker, but now there's more eyeballs and expectation than ever, and more money than ever, and Red Bull, that team, they're not
Red Bull, isn't it? I think that's the worst place for you to come in.
Christian and Helmut aren't they're not arm around shoulder kind of management.
They're like gun to head.
They are arm round, but it's like headlock.
Headlock. Yeah. You think you get in a half, and then it's just TKO on the front. It's look, I think there's been obviously discussion about options. Ultimately, I think he's got to do something in these next 3 before the mid-season break, because the mid-season break is, that's when Gasly was dropped, wasn't he, for Albon after Hungary? Yeah. In 2019.
Probably.
And it kind of makes sense because it gives a bit of time for the new driver to acclimatise.
Also, so apart from the pressure, apart from Helmut Marko, apart from the bad car, he's also got Daniel Ricciardo very clearly at least trying to angle. Exactly. Hello, I'm, just always there at the window, you're right, mate.
And he's got a big smile.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's got the biggest smile of them all.
And I bet De Vries absolutely hates that stupid career. But again, Ricciardo perhaps is looking for a way, not into AlphaTauri necessarily, but to prove to Red Bull that he's still got it. We don't know what's going to happen with the Checo situation. There's obviously pressure on him as well. So Ricciardo could be looking for a way to prove himself in that AlphaTauri.
Franz Tost has been, I haven't got the exact quote, but something along the lines of if a driver was to replace Nyck, they'd only give it to Ricciardo if one of the juniors isn't ready, essentially. That's kind of...
Yeah, he said AlphaTauri is the junior team for young talent, but if the talent is not ready, then they'll look at other...
But also,
Franz ready.
I think Liam is very much ready.
Yeah. But Franz Tost wanted Schumacher, so how much say does he actually have?
I don't think he does, because he's leaving at the end of the year. So realistically, you've got no say.
Yeah, that as well.
You've got nothing.
Yeah.
So,
Christian Horner's shut up.
Shut up. Shut your
we'll do
mouth.
what we want at the end of the day.
Sacked.
Right?
Or you're out in summer.
But another thing I wanted to talk, not so much about the drivers, but also just that team generally, because Red Bull have said they're dropping the AlphaTauri name at the end of it. That's all but confirmed.
That was another Marko clang. I just mentioned it.
By the way.
Yeah, that's actually a point, by the way. There was no sort of press release of that. It was just anyway, so on this next podcast.
He'd mentioned, I think, thinking about it earlier in the year, maybe a few months ago. But he pretty much confirmed it on
He does this all the time.
Yeah, he just says things.
Chat.
Well, because there's no one above him. Like he never says like, "Oh, I can't believe anyone's allowed." Like, no, he's the top. Well, he's the top of the tree. So
judge it like if there's not going to be the AlphaTauri name on the grid, what would we like that name to be?
Yeah,
it's going to be something. It's going to be something internally with them to promote. They're not going to be. Like it's going to be something the same. It's going to be something like that. Tropical.
To be fair, I remember
great flames.
It is.
I remember Tommo did obviously his kind of pre-race chinwag. What did someone say, like Beta Tauri or something?
Beta Tauri.
There were some good names in there, but you're right. They have to like advertise something. And what are Red Bull, apart from their clothing brand, what are they going to advertise? I mean, that partnership with Ford, maybe, I don't know, like perhaps that Ford could be like a title sponsor, you know, to kind of like butter them up before they come in. Like,
I think we should just go down the route of saying Red Bull, but in different languages again.
Yeah.
Because we had obviously Toro Rosso, AlphaTauri is not, but you know, we've got Red Bull.
We'll just bring it back again.
What's Red Bull in Japanese though? Can we get like a rough translation of that?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Actually. That's good. Yeah. That's good.
Well, so I'm looking now, and you know, Red Bull in terms of subsidiaries and other companies, obviously they own AlphaTauri.
Yeah.
Outside of just the Red Bull brand, there's not too much. Like obviously they've, you know, a lot of football teams like New York Red Bulls, Leipzig, Salzburg.
Yeah. Teams. Red Bull's like.
Yeah, I was going to get him in the car.
Red Bull Records, like a record label.
I think, but it could be something that hasn't came out yet, and that's why they're kind of teeing it up, and that is maybe a new thing that they're you know, bringing onto the Red Bull.
That would make a splash. But again, it's just why I don't get the name change. But
it's all marketing. The sport is marketing.
Yes. But when you have a Formula One team, it was a big thing to rename the team. Like you have to stick with your brand identity. Like is the last lap going to like reinvent itself tomorrow and have a different name?
It's over.
But this is exactly the point. Like what you say, Kiera. Like it's marketing. The whole point of them being in sport is marketing. So if they're not going to push a business, AlphaTauri, which I mean, we went to the one in Vienna and it was empty. Like,
we were the only ones.
There's one in London as well, no?
Right?
Yeah. I've never seen someone.
So they've got a business there that could do with marketing, right? And can value marketing. So there must be like it makes no sense to me for them to take the AlphaTauri name off and just put Toro Rosso back on because
that makes no sense.
But haven't they said they're not going to do that?
Well, I don't know if they've confirmed that.
Someone opened their mouth.
Well, someone asked Yuki and he was like, "Oh, I'd like Toro Rosso because I think it's like
my goat."
But I mean, it'd be cool to see as a fan.
Yeah.
But from a marketing point of view, it wouldn't make any sense because they've got a Red Bull car at the front anyway.
Yeah. I think there's something lined up.
Surely.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where maybe the Ford thing does make sense.
Yeah, the Ford thing could come in and change something, but you just don't know what it's going to be. Yeah. I think it's something that might come out later. Or RB Leipzig.
RB Leipzig.
Yeah. That would Minardi. Go back.
Yeah.
Go back, fuck it.
Well, yeah, because that team has changed so much over the years. It's just natural for it. Yeah. It's like, well, hang on, too many years now. We need to change the name.
Yeah, true. It's like they get bored in the boardroom.
And also, get a new name, whatever, and actually stick with it for more than, what is it, 4 years? 2020 was like the first
Toro Rosso was the name for a while.
Yeah.
Since they bought it, like they bought Minardi, I think back in like 2005 or something, and then they renamed it Toro Rosso, and it was always the junior team. And so they only renamed AlphaTauri because like the clothing brand got really big, but clearly Red Bull drip doesn't sell. We saw that firsthand.
It's Red just too expensive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was like 112 euros for a shirt.
Oh, but I mean, their new stuff was rubbish. But like when they first, it was genuinely terrible. Their stuff now is like it's all right, but again, it's expensive. The thing is, Red Bull got a lot of money to throw about. They own the Red Bull ring. Like, at the end of the day, that's kind of a big push there. I mean, it's Red Bull everywhere.